Welcome back to you, sweet cheeks. The Bitcoin price is not moving anywhere. We're going to go through the core coins. We are in a very slow, boring period. This is methodical. We are in this rectangle of friendship. I would like you to know something. We have been here before. If we go back to 2 cycles ago, otherwise known as the Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle, because in this cycle, 2014 to 2016, the damage was done because Mt. Gox did 80% of the world Bitcoin trading volume, and it was a Ponzi and went down. We lost 80%. This would be like if we lost Binance, FTX, and Coinbase altogether. That's how bad it was, and we still survived. So nothing can keep us down forever, just like nothing can keep our friendship together, friends. So this rectangle of friendship, we were in here before. This was Bitcoin leaving the bear market zone. The first disbelief rally. And then we had this boring sideways motion. Now, it doesn't look boring because your eyes, I know what's happening, baby dolls. You are looking at this top right part going like, wow, that was exciting. But no, you got to focus in here. This is a weekly chart. These are very small. And then this is vertical line here. This is the Bitcoin halvening. So there was a front run of the halvening and then a dump into it. Because the market is a smarty pants. It's not a dummy dums. It doesn't stay there forever. It knows the good parts coming in the future because the insiders control the future. And don't forget, not only are we going to go through this Bitcoin price, we're going to go through some core coins to just show you that they're still in super deep territory. You've got to do whatever you can to grab as many of your core position coins as possible because the future's not guaranteed. Okay, yes, a lot of people are saying 100x, $120,000 Bitcoin. They're all saying these things, but let me tell you something. I heard the exact same narratives on the way up here in 2020. I heard the same thing. They were saying, go to the biggest YouTube influencers. Their videos are still up. Do you know what they were saying? They were saying all you need is 1 Bitcoin to retire. Just one. You just got to own 1 full Bitcoin because it's going to go to $1 million. Okay, this is what they were saying. You just need to own 1. If only you could go back in time and say to everybody, like what I'm telling you right now, go, you know what? You know those influencers who say you got to own 1 Bitcoin? Multiply by 5. Multiply by 10. That's how much you actually got to own. Because millions of people, retailers, innocent victims, they are hearing this same information. They're saying, oh, all I need is 1. All I need is 1. Let me tell you how markets work. If you think you need 1, but everybody else thinks they need 1, you don't need 1 anymore. You actually need 10. That's how markets work. And on the weekly super trend, we are still grinding along. Nothing big has happened. But it's very interesting when we look at this because you'll see this time and time again, okay? There's a lot of contradictory signals out there. I see it so much. I can understand. I empathize with you. I understand how hard it is. You're just a little squirrel grabbing your little nuts and you're trying to make your way in this world, in this big forest, and you have no idea. You're like, wait a minute, is the crowd bullish or is the crowd bearish? You see a 100K target on Twitter and then you see $1 million target on Bitcoin. You think, okay, everybody's too bullish. But then you also see a lot of bearish videos. So what gives? Okay, it's not so easy, friends. It's not so easy. You need experience. That's why you like, subscribe, you press the bell button and all. I appreciate every single one of you. So yes, all over Twitter, even me, I will see opposing views. Everybody's bullish or everybody's bearish, okay? But look at this information, right? So recently, I would see other influencers, right? I know they lean on the super skeptical bearish side. They are, you might call them cuckolds. They have large stablecoin portfolios. They will come out. They will hyper-focus and find information. They go, aha, the crowd is bullish. The crowd is bullish. There's hamster racing. There's this and there's that. They'll always say that. I've seen them say it time and time again. Now, I can't go reply to their threads because most people don't even want to be saved. Okay, it doesn't even matter. That's why I made my Twitter and my X, right? I made my Twitter and I made my YouTube for you so I build the community myself. Because you can't go around to these people who venture into these areas because they're bearish. They want to be bearish. They don't actually want to change their mind. They just want to see somebody else be bearish. So have a look at this, right? When you see this data I'm going to show you, it shows that everybody is net short. Have a look at this, right? So you can see here, you can see this. Let's focus down on this bottom part. We can go in, you can go down. You can see now, this is an oscillator and it's just showing you speculative positions. And you can see now we are in the deep bearish territory. People are short. But this is where people get confused, because if you look at it, it's actually hedge funds. It's institutions, right? It's actually like, it's bigger players, right? Maybe not institutions, but like just hedge funds, bigger traders. And you're like, wait a minute, this makes absolutely no sense. How the hell is it bearish when all these guys are short? Let me tell you something. These people are crowd followers too, okay? You think these people don't have the same human emotions we do? Of course they do. There are super great hedge fund traders out there, and then they will put out a view and everyone goes and listens to them. Just like have Bitcoin have the Plan B models, or other people we have respective, or we have like a GCR, the Grim Reaper, who gets everything right. Yeah, there are people who follow super wise and smart funds and traders like that too, with billions of dollars. But here's the difference. The difference is, I, as a peanut brain, I know one thing. I know they're all poopy heads. Okay, that's what I know. And what I mean by that, what I mean by that is, so yes, we're gonna give ourselves like a little smiley face, friends. Yay. Okay, they are poopy heads because they are privy to the same human emotions. So what happens is, even though someone did great in this 5-year period, they are now in the next 5-year period. And for the past couple of years, they did it really good, right? Past couple of years, they actually done pretty poorly. But people still remember them from the greatness times, right? In these hedge fund periods, because they move slower than us. They see them and they're like, wow, this guy shaves. He had a shower. Wow, look at this guy. So they give him so much attention and they say, oh, this guy's bearish, the interest rate, to this and that. Wow. So that's how everybody falls into the same trap. And they end up shorting out resistances. They try to do everything they can just to get the positions on. So they all follow, they're all crowd followers too. So it's funny, even though I show you up here, if you look at the top here, pros are still uber bearish, right? The most hated rally ever. Yes, they get it wrong. I've seen them get it wrong. The difference between the greats and the poopies are the greats, when you get it wrong, you like have this epiphany and you go, all right, I was wrong. I'm just going to change, move on with my life. Okay. Like, you're very cold. We're calculated like that, right? That's why a lot of you respect me, because on my Twitter, I'm not feeding this like, oh, golly gee, I just feel so bad all the time. I don't like people talk like that. Okay. You don't even respect people like that. You want to hear someone say, it's crap, it's bad, we got to do better. That's what you want to hear, because that's a person of action. That's someone who's going to change for the better. That's someone who's adapting, right? But before you got to adapt, you got to appreciate how wrong you are. You go, far out, we were wrong. We got this idea wrong. We got, whatever word you want to use, ponzied, scammed, grifted, doesn't matter. Time to move on, okay? We start thinking, you got to appreciate everything you got wrong, and you got to look at it. A lot of people don't want to be self-critical. That's why they'll never make it. But you will, because we're friends. Also here, fantastic comment from Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty saying, people open their Twitter and say, okay, everyone's too bullish, I have to sell. Because some person from a mental institution posted on Twitter and that Bitcoin's gone to $280,000 tomorrow, but they don't want to check the facts. So yes, you can't just look at these Twitter or these little places without the context. All of us on Twitter, we have survivorship bias. We have survived every nuclear explosion possible. You can't just weed us out in 5 seconds and go, well, we're going to crash. Like, come on, man. I've held stuff minus 99% down. We're not leaving now, okay? We've held through the zombie virus. We've held through the crashes, Do Kwon, Celsius. We've held through so many stuff, and they think, well, it's about time they quit now. No, we have very strong mental fortitude. And also, Mr. Hansi saying, right, this year has shown me just how stupid bears and retail really is. So, what does Mr. Hansi mean by that? Okay, what Mr. Hansi is referring to he's referring to, because we understand the long-term fundamentals of crypto, when we saw it going up and then bad news come, and then we go up anyway, it's very obvious to us. Do you understand? But bears, people who are cuckolds, those people you see on Twitter, they're like, oh, I'm a trader, here's my referral link, all these people, they don't see it that way. They see everything that goes up, they see it as a sucker's rally, right? Because why do they see that? It's because it's what happened before. It happens all the time. There were all these suckers rallies before. Everybody hopium. This was hopium. The whole cycle. So they think, okay, there's just another one of those because it kept going down. Like, you know, like it was the wrong thing to get long-term bullish here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because their time frames are so short, right? So that's 8 out of 8 times. 8 out of 8 times, all they've been saying is, aha, I told you you're an idiot. And now they see it going up. So they think it's just time number 9. And they think it's occurrence number 10. All right? This is why, because their time frames are so short. That's why I always say long-term view, friends. Yes, we might get scammed at the end of 2024. But if we have this view of 2025, December 2025, we're trying to go as long as we can, we're going to make it. And looking at the core coins, I'm going to go through the charts just to show you. They're all in mega cheap zones, okay? You have ChainLink, Hex, PulseX, PulseChain, Hedron, Icosa, and PoorPleb. There are others. If you have others, it's fine, okay? Well, honestly, it's random, friends. It's a roulette wheel. No one wants to say it. I've seen strong communities fail. I've seen absolutely non-existent communities come out of nowhere. I've seen every permutation and combination just to know, well, you know what? It's more random than we think. But don't take this for granted. Don't think just because you're in a Poopie community, oh, it can come back. No. Well, I don't mean it by like, I mean that from perspective of, is there a formula to try pick big stuff, okay? You will get on average, undeniably, higher gains, higher rewards if you're in strong communities. There's no doubt about that. It's just that you're not guaranteed to get the 100x that everybody's looking for, okay? Just because you're in a strong community. But what you might find is, if the average of the top 100 coins goes 7x, which is what it did back here, okay, so just to remind the friend, I got to tell you this time and time again, okay? People don't believe me, all right? You do the numbers yourselves. In this cycle, the average coin, you pick any coin in the top 100, you got a 70x. Yes, the average coin in the top 100. From the bottom to the top, it went 70x. Do you want to know what you got in the last cycle? 7. You divide that by 10. 7x. Do you understand that? In the top 100. Do you see that diminished gain? What do you think it's going to be in the next cycle? Everyone still says, yeah, well, my coin's going to be the one that goes 100x. No, the maths doesn't add up. That's why we might even find we're just lucky to go back for altcoins, that we're lucky to just go back to their all-time high. Maybe most altcoins do like a 5x on average, okay? The gains are diminishing. But this doesn't mean just give up completely and buy any altcoin, okay? What I'm saying is, I'm going to feel lucky, personally, right, if I can get a 20x. I know these numbers are like, wow, that's too low. If I can get a 20x, I'm going to feel lucky. You know why? Because everybody else, they're going to hold for the 5, and then they're not going to get out at the 5 because they think it's going to go to 50x or 100x. Then they're going to realize they've made a mistake when it's back down to 2.5x, okay? So have a look at that. So look how much we've crushed it. Would you run 20 times your money or 2.5 times your money, okay? When people look at these, they think you're saying take 20x when every other coin is going 100x. That's what they think you're saying. You're saying, no. No one's getting 100x. You don't understand that, okay? Yeah, there's going to be 5 people that get 100x. The average person, they're going to see a quote of a 5x, that little tippy top, most likely, and then it's just going to come back down. They're going to realize they made a mistake at around a 2.5x when it comes back halfway down, all right? So this is where you don't want to be caught with your pants down. This is ChainLink USD chart. Unfortunately, under the week, it closed right under the weekly super trend, so it did not proc. We got scammed. But what's funny, on the Link versus Ethereum chart, which is actually the true God chart that we need to see, right? There was a 1 fake out, 2 fake out. Hopefully, this is the 3rd time lucky. And I've just changed it to a linear. I mean, I hope, right? This is just hope, friends. I don't know. I hope we're able to get somewhere like a 6x on Ethereum from here, which is huge. What people don't know is, because you can say this to a blue chip, you don't have to have like a 1% allocation. Because it's ChainLink, right? This is me. I would feel comfortable if you said 100% of your portfolio is ChainLink, I sleep like a baby tonight, right? If you said, hey, I got $1 million, all right, literally $1 million, all 1 million is in ChainLink, I'd say that's fine. Even if you said I got $10 million, I'd say, yeah, that's fine. I'm not even kidding. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Obviously, it's not ideal, but I'd sleep like a baby because you're winning. You're winning. Okay, do you understand that point now? Now, if you're in $500, you're in hamster racing land, and unfortunately not going to make it. There's just too many coins out there. So you have to use these blue chips as gifts. It's like, well, Remember, I told you to invest based off time. So when it comes to, hamster racing coins and all the meme coins, right? Most people will put, like literally, you should put 3 days of wage into a meme coin, okay? But with blue chip, like Link, you might put 3 months. See how much of a difference that is? That's huge. Because if you make like a 30x, 3 days become 90 days. Okay, you get 3 months of your wages. But if you got a 30x on Link, knowing it's a blue chip, you have a 3-month allocation, you have just a high probability of reaching that. Well, now you have 90 months of income. You do 90 on 12, right, to get the amount of years. Yeah, you've earned 7.5 years of income. How big is that? That's enormous if you got that. Do you see how all the pieces of the puzzle fit in together? You got to manage your risk. Because if you don't manage your risk, the market will manage it for you in the hard way. This is the Pulse chart as well. Super cheap. People are worried about these little areas. It doesn't really matter, friends. You got to get in. I'm telling you right now. That's why for Pulse even, I know these, everyone laughs. I don't care, okay? All right. Everybody thinks a 20x is a failure. It's not a failure, okay? Because every other coin is literally going to go 3 or 4x max. I'm not joking. They're going to go 3, 4, or 5x. They're not going to do this 100x everybody believes in, all right? So yeah, if Pulse goes 20, 30, 40, 50x, okay, I'll be like, wow, we literally won the game because every other coin is like 2, 3, 4, 5, and no one's getting out. Do you see the difference here? I've explained it for you now because you're a baby doll, baby cake, and you're a pumpkin pie, and if you can understand this now, right? So yeah, is Eric going to lose his bet at 10x? I'm sure he will. I mean, it's such a low target. I don't know. Eric, change the bet. Can you change the bet? It's too late now. Why would you bet on such a low number? But, if your bags are packed, at least we can see this coming from a mile away. The zone is too cheap. The community is too strong. It's just a matter of time before Bitcoin and Ethereum reprice, and we eventually see higher valuations. And we also have PulseX, the DEX, which is also massively offside for everybody. I mean, we're down 70%, 71%. Yes, friends, I know it hurts. But what else are you going to do? Are you going to sell the bottom? Because I'm not. Because I'm buying more, okay? When people go through pain, you do one of two things, okay? 95% of people want to end the pain, okay? 5% of us have a mental illness where we are so hung up on winning, we don't give up, we buy more. I'm just telling you, markets reward people like that. On average, they reward people like that. Now, don't misconstrue this and say, well, I'm just going to buy any meme coin, but you get the point, okay? So I think the upside is still big. I think when the buying bird keeps kicking in, the volume comes in, it's going to be great. Now, a lot of people done the volume. You might be a bit bearish on how everything goes, but let me tell you something. When the volume goes up and everything goes up, the crowd's going to get it wrong again, okay? So the people are going to see the volume. Maybe PulseX is doing like $400 million of volume per day for a month or two, and then it'll be the top somewhere, right? And what's going to happen is people are going to then say, oh my God, at this rate, we are going to burn 50% of the supply in the next 2 years. But what they don't know is they are looking at the huge volume spike. Like they're looking at up here, okay? They don't know that they're looking at an anomaly of the volume. Everybody's going to start forecasting that to snowball into the future. But what they don't know is you just had an up spike, okay? So yeah, this is euphoria. This is people. This is why we're in a cycle one coin. Cycle one coins have an advantage because I can see the trap that people don't even know is a trap. I already know how it's going to form, what they're going to say, what people are going to be posting, and we're not even going to bother arguing with them because you know me, friends, I don't argue with anybody on the internet. Don't waste your time, right? You're either in the community or you're not, okay? You want this free knowledge or you don't. Of course, you like, subscribe, bell button, or you know exactly where you stand. This is the PulseX to Pulse ratio, very important. It is grinding down. Now, look, obviously, just to shortcut it for you, friends, someone, wink, wink, maybe a duck, we don't know how to check it. Somebody mysteriously just pumped millions of dollars into PulseX because it was the counter crowd trade. Everybody said PulseX is worthless on the launch, and then we pumped up. But let me tell you something. You can't jam anything in the market. He set the, he, she, they, them, we don't know who it is, but somebody tried to set the price up here to establish a nice range, and then you can see this, the market knows. See, the collective mindset of the market, everyone knows, they're like, wait a minute, the volume's crap. The launch has been trash, right? This everybody's saying. They're like, well, the volume is nowhere near what's going on. Look what our ranking is. I mean, we're below Solana, ZK Sync. These are just third world country people just farming these with $1 transactions. Like, we're going so low, right? So people are coming to their senses and now they're saying, oh, I just want the layer 1, okay? So this is what everybody's going through their mind. Doesn't mean they're right, but hey, as we start to go lower, if we go down mega low, of course, 100%, I'm just going to start to switch, just collect straight PulseX, okay? But don't jump the gun just yet. We're going to need more time. And of course, just a friendly reminder, because we are in the middle of the range, it means if you gave me $10 million, okay, I would say, okay, put 5 mil Pulse, 5 mil PulseX, even, okay? But if you let's say you gave me 10 mil down here, I would be like, all right, give me 33 million in Pulse, 7 million in PulseX. I would have a higher weight in PulseX. And as it went down even more, get even more weight. That's what you would want to be doing, right? So you're just trying to guess the range. It's not the end of the world because you're rotating from one or the other. Don't go too crazy with this. It just tried to help you understand what's cheap, what's expensive, okay? We might see it go down here and then in a bull market flush up because it's a risk on, risk off indicator. Now, Pumpkin, for these two coins, Hedron and Icosa, they are leverage on Hex, okay? So if you wanted to, this is up to you. Let's say you gave me like $10,000. Go, okay, $10,000. What you could do is you put 8 grand in Hex and you go, okay, I'm going to put like 1,000 in Hedron, 1,000 in Icosa. That is just one example of what you do. And why would you do that? It's because if Hex goes to 0, well, you lose everything anyway. The whole ecosystem goes to 0. But if Hex super succeeds, you're hoping Hedron and Icosa get a repricing higher, right? You're basically betting that the Icosa, so ICSA Hex ratio, you're just betting that trends upwards, right? And if you go to Dex Screener, you can type in ICSA/Hex, and you'll be able to look it up, okay? You can actually see the Icosa Hex ratio. And if you see this top part here, you got to switch to the price in Hex. You actually see the ratio. You see this? I think if I remember the ceiling is about 36, 32 or 36. What does this mean? That means, okay, if, right, big if this one day in the next 2 years, if it trades, see it's a value of like 7.2, if it trades at 30, one day, I'm not saying it will, if it trades at 30, what it means is whatever Hex did, Icosa gave you 300% more. It did a 4x better. Meaning, if Hex did a 25x, Icosa did a 100x. That's what it done, okay? Now, that's 25x against USD. Now, we might not find that it happens at the tippy top. What we might find is, right, maybe there's a first Bitcoin rally and then Icosa goes to March and then it comes back down, okay? So I'm not saying they're going to top out exactly. Effectively, think about this, right? When Bitcoin was $64,000, Hex was only 5 cents. It didn't top out, right? So then you saw later on when Bitcoin was 64K, 60K, then Hex was 50 cents. So you can see how there's different timings about them. But this just helps you identify what might give you more leverage without having a liquidation point. Because if you go do a leverage trade, all I have to do is just sell it down and see you later, you lose your whole position. But with this, you're betting on the ecosystem going up. It's a leverage position. And we'll finish off with PoorPleb. We have 9-inch exchange launching soon. Maybe it's launched already. I think it's in the beta mode. They're doing the yield farms. We're just going to see how this goes, friends, because memes are obviously, they're here to stay. There's going to be new memes. I know, just to share with you information, Mr. Hexy Bastard, what I like, he's very good with marketing promotion. He knows how to hustle. He knows how to like get connections in terms of like figure out who's capable, who's building a new community. He's got a good ear to find out who's going to be big. He talks to the founders. That's exactly what you want, okay? Because when you start talking to them, you can kind of realize like, oh, one founder is just like, 14 Chinese dudes that can't speak English. They want to dump straight away. And another one is like just someone else who's, maybe they had a project that didn't work out and they learned some stuff. Just you can find out things like this. The more information, the better. So PP right now, this is PP. The price here. This is PP versus Pulse, so PLS. I won't even worry about the US dollar. I know a lot of people look at the US dollar one. I want to see its ratio against Pulse. The goal is just wait and see, friends. Maybe PulseChain, hopefully it does 20, 40, 50, 100x, whatever it does. And then hopefully PoorPleb's community is bigger and it should give you a premium on Pulse and we'll decide what to do much later. So there you go, Pumpkin. We are still in this boring methodical range. We've been here before. Keep accumulating your bag size because you might think about selling too late if you don't accumulate bigger bag sizes now. The whole reason we do this is, got to reiterate, if if it happens such that we get scammed in the future where we stop earlier than we think and there are euphoria signs earlier than we think, at least we are prepared. You're going to be like, wow, thank my lucky heavens that I accumulated those extra pieces of core positions back when everybody was still sleeping. Tell mum and dad we still love them. Like, subscribe, press the bell button. I'm going to catch you in the next one.